Hey YouTube, my name is Garrett Wolf and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about some budget hacks, 7 in particular, that can help you find some money in your budget and give you some more money to invest or save. If you like this content, please give my channel a like and subscribe below. It really helps us out. And with that, let's get into the video. So number 1. I think it's worth talking about. I feel like it's not a financial video if someone doesn't mention coffee at least once. But coffee, as well as other things that you're spending your money on every day, I think it's really good to be aware of how you're spending that money. If you're going out and buying a $5 or $6 or $7 or $8 coffee, they are getting really expensive these days. It is worth looking into if you can just make that at home for a lot cheaper. I make my coffee at home and I think it's better than getting it out. And I think it cost me maybe a total of $1. Coffee, coconut oil, cocoa, honey, blend it all up. I think it's better than anything you could get at Starbucks or a local cafe. Especially for the price. And we're really not just talking coffee here. We're talking anything that you would normally spend your money on a day-to-day basis. Even saving $1 or $2 over the course of a year can really add up to $500, $1,000, which you could use to save or invest or buy something that you really want. And even though saving $3 a day might not sound like a lot, like over the course of a month, that could be $80, $90. If you took a look at Mana, which is a crypto project, I put $80 into that, and three or 4 years later, it's almost at $3,000. So that's not saying that everything you invest in with that little bit of money you save is going to go up, but it does increase your chance when you have that money to actually put it into these smaller projects. Number 2, second budget hack is a little counterintuitive, but I think it's worth spending the money to buy the nice thing that you want the first time. If you end up cheaping out and getting something that is not as good of quality or is not going to be as satisfactory, get the job done as well, you're going to be disappointed with that purchase, and then you're probably going to end up buying the thing that you wanted in the first place. So you might as well save your money and get the thing that you really want. Not only that, often if you're buying nicer things, they tend to last a lot longer, and so you're not buying a cheaper version again and again and again. So you might as well have the thing you want in the first place and then not have to rebuy it a bunch of times. I think this works really well with clothes, shoes, like especially boots. A good quality pair of boots will last you many, many years if you take good care of them. Computer equipment, camera equipment, musical gear, those I think are all things that are worth really spending the money on. You really get better quality out of it. And then when that nice thing does wear out, you have had time to hopefully save up again and have enough money to have to replace it if you need to. And I think this can help us from accumulating a lot of things over time, as you're just buying a couple nice things versus like a lot of cheap things to try and fill that void. So that keeps us from also having a lot of extra clutter. Number 3, the next budget hack I would say is eating at home. The amount of money that me and my partner have saved by just eating at home and cooking our meals has been pretty substantial. I think last month we ended up spending $280 per person, which was mostly just eating at home and cooking our own meals. Not only is it cheaper, also you get the shared experience of cooking, whether by yourself or with a partner or with a friend. It gives you an opportunity to kind of do something and bond while you're spending time with each other. And beyond that, you also know exactly what is going in your food. When you're going out to eat, you often don't know exactly what kind of oils are cooking, what kind of additives, what kind of seasonings. When you're cooking at home, you have complete control over that. So that is also an added bonus, is that you are getting to know exactly what you eat and connect with your food. And honestly, after you try cooking a couple meals and really get the hang of it, I often find that the food tastes a lot better when you're cooking it yourself. So you can choose exactly what you like about it and really bring out those flavors, which is a really special experience. Number 4 is getting a budget phone plan. So if you are like me as an individual and you're on your own cell phone plans can be very expensive, especially if you go through something like T-Mobile or AT&T or Verizon. If you are by yourself and you're looking to cut down your phone bill, the option that I use is Mint Mobile. It costs me $20 a month, which compared to what I was paying on T-Mobile, which was like $90 a month. Like that saves me a substantial amount of money. That's $70 every month. That adds up to like almost $850, $900 a year that I'm saving on that. And while I wouldn't say the self-service is exactly as good as some of the bigger providers like AT&T, Verizon, or T-Mobile, it still is quality enough. You still get messages through, you still have access to the internet. It's still 5G. I've only had a few issues during rush hour. Sometimes it'll be slower, or if I'm in a really, really crowded area, like a concert or like deep in the big city when everybody's going out, it'll slow down, and I have had issues maybe once. But that's in the 2 years that I've had it, and that I think is well worth the savings. And if you're like me, you are on Wi-Fi most of the time anyway. While I'm at work, I'm on Wi-Fi. When I'm at home, on Wi-Fi. So those speed reductions really don't even matter unless you're really going out and about. And those speed reductions are pretty minimal to begin with. Number 5, the next budget hack is looking at your housing and trying to find some sort of alternative housing situation. As long as I have been out of college, I have lived with roommates just because the savings is so much cheaper. For the last 4 years, I was living in a house with a couple of friends, and it was, I think, costing us $675 each, which for the area was a really good price. We were all sharing a beautiful house with a deck and a yard. To get some space after that and kind of to get my own place, it cost over double, and was trading a really quiet, beautiful neighborhood for a really, really busy apartment complex where I could hear a neighbor on one side coughing all night, and I could hear a neighbor on the other side that was often having people over that were doing some pretty hard stuff that I could hear, and honestly like got us into some like really nerve-wracking times. So if you're living alone and you can find a roommate that you can share the cost with, getting a roommate really cuts down on expenses. So that would be budget hack number 5. Number 6, budget hack number 6, would be buying things used or refurbished when you have the option to. So, and this goes along with buying things nice, is that to then get that savings, you can buy them used or refurbished. Just about every nice piece of audio or video equipment that I have, musical instruments, speakers, I have bought them all used or refurbished, and the amount of money that I've saved is probably at least half the cost of the item on most things, and I have yet to have a problem with anything that I've gotten refurbished, and anything that I've gotten used I don't think has really been much of an issue either. Things that are pretty easy to get used, especially like camera lenses, you will save so much money, and it's pretty easy to bring your camera along and see if there are any blemishes or if a used lens is going to be a problem. Some examples, my gaming laptop, what I use to edit videos on, that was $1,900 new, and I got that for $1,350 refurbished, and I have not had any problems with that. The second one that was big was my JBL monitors that I use, which I love. They sound amazing. Those were going for $400 new. I think they're going for $300 new now, but I picked those up for $200. So that's a savings of 50% just by buying them used. And they worked really well. If anything, they'd been broken in a little bit, which saved me some time breaking them in, which, I mean, you typically have to do. My third good purchase used was my Sigma 35 Art Series lens, which I'm filming this with right now. Literally my favorite piece of glass that I have ever bought, and I bought that used and have had zero problems with that. My fourth good purchase, I think, was my Novation Launchpad Pro. I bought that used. I got that for half the price, and it's been great. It's let me play around and be creative, and I could do it on a budget. Even furniture, this couch right here, actually free, like new leather couch, great condition, free. Like if you just look around, there are lots of ways to save money on things you're looking for. It just takes a little bit more time, but that time pays off so much when it gives you more room in your budget. And the seventh budget hack that you can take into the new year is trying to minimize your investing fees. So we used to use Betterment as a robo-investor. But they charge you, I believe it's a 1% management fee every year. And now we've transferred over to using M1 Finance, which is great because they don't charge you any fees. So you're able to pick all of the things that you would like to invest in, and they don't charge you anything. They make money off their service, but you don't. They make money off their upgraded service, but you don't have to pay for the upgraded service. If you're just buying and holding, then it gives you all the functionality that you need. You choose everything in a pie chart. Index funds are a great option if we're going with trying to really minimize the fees of investing. Getting something like VOO or VTI, which has a really low percent cost. I believe it's 0.04% or 0.03% for those, which as far as investing in index fund goes, that's about as low as you get. Using the combination of M1 Finance or another low fee or no fee broker and low cost index funds are a great way to make your money go further with investing. And I'm not sponsored by M1 Finance. I just really like the product. I think it makes it really easy to invest and choose what those investments are and then automate your investing so that you don't have to think about it. You set it up once and then that one action sets you up for just investing in the future without you having to do anything. So I think they're really easy and I like that they're free. So if you go down to the link below, there's a link and you can earn, I think, $50 if you put $100 into your account. So, and then it helps me out as well on the channel. So feel free to check that out. And thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Number 2, buying quality over quantity. Number 2 is quality. They have the saying, if you...